What's going on, guys? I'm Steve. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If it's your first time stopping by the channel, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't regret it. You're a returning subscriber as always, guys. Welcome back, and I do appreciate the support. Guys, I want to apologize to you for some odd reason. I couldn't get the live stream for YouTube up tonight. I don't know if it's me and other content creators, but for some odd reason, I would log on and YouTube would take me right out. The whole app would close down, but it would keep the live stream running. So I don't understand what's going on. I hope they rectify that situation as soon as possible. But I got a story for you guys. And you know, we all keep up with the Tyre Nichols story. You know, I got eyes and ears out there, both in and out of the courtroom, to give you guys the full coverage of what's really going on, you know, in trial. Now, I did an early video about the medical examiner and some of the stuff that was going on in the trial. In the wrap up on the evening news, more information came out of what was said by the medical examiner. And we all been saying, you know, he was brutalized and beaten. I'm one of the people saying Emmitt Martin is the one that killed him. Well, I'm gonna prove it to you right now with what you're about to hear. Now brace yourselves. If you really taken to this case, this is very hard to hear, man. And I feel for his family. I'll probably give him a call later on tonight to see how they doing after hearing the news that I'm about to reveal to you. This is very hard for a mother and father to hear about their son, about what happened to their son in court, and have the people that did it that close to you in the same room. Take a look.
Day 10 of the federal civil rights trial for 3 ex-Memphis cops accused of killing Tyre Nichols.
Today featured the testimony of the chief medical examiner who performed the autopsy on Tyre Nichols' body 4 days after his beating and arrest.
Our Stephen Pippo is live outside federal court this evening. Stephen, tell us what the medical examiner had to say. Anything we didn't already know?
Richard Pepper. Today, Chief Medical Examiner Dr. Marco Ross told the court Tyre Nichols died from blunt force hits to the head, leading to severe brain injuries that caused cardiac arrest and eventually organ failure. He says even if Nichols had survived, he likely would have suffered permanent brain damage and needed constant care the rest of his life. Chief Medical Examiner Dr. Marco Ross testified in federal court today that Tyre Nichols' body was covered in scrapes and bruises when it was brought in for an autopsy. Dr. Ross says his examination revealed Nichols had internal bleeding on both sides of his head, neck, chest, and in both arms. Dr. Ross said the brain exam showed Nichols' brain was swollen and bruised, with serious tearing in the left, right, and central parts of the brain, caused by rapid head turning and hits to the head.
I hit that man with so many pieces.
The medical examiner says those injuries were the result of Nichols' brain turning inside of his skull. During cross-examination, defense attorney Stephen Loeffler asked if the injuries to Nichols' right arm would have contributed to his death, and Dr. Ross says the intense tissue damage all over the body could have been a contributing factor to kidney failure. During cross-examination by defense attorney Martin Zumak, he asked Dr. Ross if there was anything the EMTs could have done after Nichols suffered his brain injuries. Dr. Ross said that if the cardiac arrest was recognized right away, it could have changed the outcome. Now, Dr. Ross also told the court that if Nichols had gotten oxygen at the scene, it could have helped prevent him going into cardiac arrest. However, he added that just stopping the cardiac arrest would not have necessarily prevented the organ failure.
Wow. Wow. What do we talk about on here, guys? Emmitt Martin is the one that killed him. That's the proof. Said the man had blood in his head. Said his brain was twisting in his skull from his neck turning so hard. Who was making his neck turn? Emmitt Martin, with those haymakers he was throwing, kicking his face. This is bad, y'all. This is really bad. I mean, I'm at a loss for words for this whole thing. Seriously. The viciousness that these people showed in a job where they're supposed to stop viciousness. I cannot fathom being his family members in the courtroom hearing this type of stuff. It takes a certain type of strength to deal with that. And you know, my heart goes out to his family. You know, and like, even at the jury selection, some of his family was in tears, man. I mean, this don't get no easier. The more truths are revealed, the harder it is to accept. It don't get no easier. And I mean, I just think about that type of stuff when I do videos like this, where, you know, people give impact statements and so on and so forth. And these people, all they had to do was not do what they did. Act accordingly to the law, be cops. They wasn't cops that night. They was nothing but thugs and badges. And they don't care nothing about that. And they mad because all these people are looking at them side-eyed because they put themselves on the stand. They tried to ruin this man's character. Say he fought him. He went for the gun. All this other stuff. That ain't working. Now, if you paid attention to a lot of the news stories I show you, they keep saying he ran from the scene. They had a thing called running tax. If you run, you get beat. First of all, who do you know is going to stand there and let cops pull them out the car, threaten to shoot them, threaten to break their arm, beat on them, and stay there and take that? At that point, I guarantee he probably was like, these ain't even really cops. He got up and ran for his life. Human beings have a fight or flight response. He know he not supposed to fight police, but they was fighting on him. Thus, flight took over, and he ran. He ran. It's like nowadays you get judged for being human. You ever think about that? You get judged for being human. Then you get you in court and they go back and forth with stuff about what you should and shouldn't have did. These lawyers ain't the ones getting their ass beat. They wasn't the one in the thing, so why should they even be able to comment on what somebody should or should not do? And that's the craziest thing about court, man. You know what I mean? I understand the cross-examination and stuff like that, but in the case of him running, he had no choice. He had no choice. So they gave him brain damage. If he had survived, he would have needed round-the-clock care the rest of his life. Didn't even give him oxygen. Went into cardiac arrest, organ failure. They beat him until his body just gave up the ghost. That's horrific. And it's all on Emmitt Martin III and his boy, Demetrius Haley. Scare tactics, jumping out the car. If y'all hadn't have did that stuff at the first stop, he'd still be alive. It's the craziest thing. Y'all didn't even try to put handcuffs on him. Y'all just said, put your hands behind your back and all this other stuff. Now that I go back and look at that, and I go look at the video, they wanted to kill him, in my opinion. They had his arm so many times. Look at the thumbnails on some of my videos. Emmitt Martin is holding his hand and he just laying there. You could have put the stuff behind. When you caught him when he ran that mile, you could have put the cuffs on him, but you didn't. Because hatred within yourself, you poured out on him. You made your problem his problem, and he paid the ultimate price while you still alive. Yeah, y'all get time in jail, but you'll still get to breathe, see your family, see your kids, see your wives. Have people tell you they love you and stay strong. Experience the ups and downs. But I'm going to tell you something. They going to the feds. Emmitt Martin and Desmond Mills Jr., the ones with the that's testifying, they're gonna have that snitch moniker on them. And these guys they got heavy time, so they going to USPs. It's gonna be problems they run into. Of course, you got that snitch title on you, and you're a cop. They don't take kindly. Trust me, the amount of time they got is the least of their worries. When they get in there, they're going to have to put them in some type of seg or something, because Gen Pop, I don't even see it. I don't even see it, but then again, it's the feds. They don't care. They throw your ass anywhere. But man, come on, man. This all could have been preventable if you shown an ounce of human decency, and you didn't. You didn't. Regardless if you're black and he black, it don't matter. Human beings are human beings, and you showed this guy no respect as a man. I'm Stock Market Steve for the Dynamic Reason channel. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe. I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Justice for Tyre.